सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Yes, please. Can someone recollect what is it that we saw last? Yes, anybody? Inform the link and quickly move ahead. Yes, please. Now, please feel free to unmute. And again, I request participants who can turn on video feeds, please do turn on video feeds. Yes, please. Anybody?
Can I? Dif-
Yes, Kalpana ji. Yes. Oh, Chitra ji. Whoever, anybody.
Yesterday's episodes revolved around different types of consecrating the mukti, how we can go to mukti by different ways of donations or the offerings or what you can say is the sacrifices. And different types of sacrifices were discussed, like it can be a jnana sacrifice or money or that land or whatever, like all
Self-control.
different
Dravya
types.
Yagnya. Material is Dravya. Dravya Yagnya
Yeah,
is there. The other is what we can say, another type of inner sacrifice also.
yeah.
Yes.
And also Shravana is by,
Shrotra. Yeah,
yeah,
listening.
listening.
Some try to, I want to listen only auspicious things. I want to hear only auspicious things. I'll try to keep myself away from inauspicious things. Some people consciously try to focus on that. That is another type. Yes, Kalpana ji.
Also pranayam was, they
Yes,
engage in pranayam, controlling our breath. And
yes.
this is also a way of
That was also one type of
offerings.
yajna and offering. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Regulating food
Uh,
and
yes. That is difficult, isn't it? Sometimes regulating food, but that is the most important also because it is a very good test of sayam, self-control. Many times it is
all this
said
has to
one
be
day.
done. Even if you are praying, it should be done consciously, and
Ah,
then only you can. So the
indeed.
prayers, or
Prayers have
these
to
are
be
also
done.
the havans, prayers, but this should be the involvement and the total consciousness.
Yes, yes. So why do you think people do all of this, Kalpana ji? Means like control. Now, when you don't eat food, our stomach hurts, no? Why does one person willingly give oneself uh,
To show
uh,
or to have the self control.
to self to experience that and to maybe sometimes you become more conscious. I think when we do upvas also, we are able to suddenly, yes, I am not so limited by my urges and cravings. Otherwise, sometimes we just run after. Some people say, I cannot do anything right now until I get something into my. Give me right now, otherwise I'll get irritated and shout at the entire world. That is no control, isn't it? No self-control, completely dependent on the senses. So this is something because there is a realm which is beyond what we can call the senses. That realm, when will we understand? When will we experience it? So that is one of the reasons to raise the consciousness. These are all different sacrifice. Like it is said, no pain, no gain. So this yagna also sometimes it causes difficulty because of our attachments, because of our purva, what we call vasanas, or our purva sanskaras, or whatever preconceived notions, they also come in the way. So when we are able to keep all of that aside, we are ready to receive something higher. Always all these roads, though they may appear different, they're all going to one place. Nityam Yagna Pratishthritam. And where is the Yagna? Yagna is going to the Supreme Brahman, reaching one direction. Brahmarpanam Brahmavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So all means like the सारे रास्ते वहीं जाते हैं. All roads go to that place only. So that is one thing which we saw. Now comes the interesting part. Krishna in the 33rd shloka says, do it consciously. Do it consciously means don't do it just because somebody tells you. Because what happens when you do without consciously, it becomes mechanical. And mechanical actions are not going to give you realization. You are going to get trapped in one more sanskara only. You're not going to come out of it at all. It will be just the same cycle of Maya where a person is gets trapped. That is why one must try to understand the higher truth, the higher principle. That is what Krishna is saying. Better than doing anything just mechanically is to understand why it is done. And then Krishna says, because superior than like over any material sacrifice that is performed physically, superior is the sacrifice of knowledge that is done intellectually. Arjuna, all actions ultimately reach culminating in knowledge, supreme truth they teach. So this is why all the karmas are being done to get the realization. Let us continue. Tad vidhi pranipatena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपतेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञान ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. This is interesting. Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnan jnaninastattvadarshinah. By humbly bowing to a true master and by worshipping and by questioning and by dutifully serving, these preceptors who possess the divinity and foresight shall bless and part you their knowledge is light. So Krishna says, by bowing, by serving whom? By serving the Guru, by bowing. What does serving the Guru means? Become a robot, receive program instruction, follow instruction only? No, it is not that. You have the right to question. Questions also. By you see, while serving, by questioning and dutifully serving, meaning you have the right to ask questions, you have the right to seek, but also importance of serving is being told. Why do you think it is important? Yes, you have to receive knowledge. Why should I go serve somebody else? How will I get knowledge by serving someone? I'll just become a slave to somebody else. And this Guru Parampara, a lot of people don't like it only. But this is something in our ancient India also it was there, isn't it? How does it help? Anybody?
You offer your ego also to that person, to the guru.
Ji. And this was from the ancient times only, isn't it, Ji?
Yes.
Means Krishna also went to an ashram. He went to Sandipani's ashram. There in that Gurukul, he learned, he served because while you are serving, you receive the wisdom. And the next part of the shloka very nicely says, Upadekshanti te jnanam, jnaninas tattva darshana. What is the difference between a guru and a guide or a consultant? People use these words very interchangeably also, isn't it? Many times people use it very casually. Now, my friends tell me they decide depending on how many followers are there, which guru to take over a glass of drink in a hotel. This guru has so many followers. This guru is now trending. Let us follow. So I'm going to consult for certain questions. Remaining, I'll follow. Is that the same thing, or is if it is different? What is this? Yes, anybody? Because guru is considered to be so powerful, so huge. It's like a tattva also. Means akhanda mandalakaram vyaptam yena charachara tadpadam darshitam yena tasmai shri gurave namah. Means the entire srushti, like how Ganesha had got the darshan, like there is a very beautiful story, Ganesha and Kartikeya going under around the world. So Ganesha outsmarts Kumara by going around Shiva and Parvati. He says, my world is here. He's right. So here it is said, this Guru Tattva is going to connect you with that cosmic consciousness. Akhanda Mandalakaram, which is brilliant. Vyaptam yena charachara means what is there, what is unknown, what is not yet manifest, all things you can realize. How? By looking at the feet, by the feet, looking at the feet of the Guru. Tat padam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Or again, there are different Guru stutis are there. Means Jnana Moolam, what we can say, Dhyana Moolam Guru Murtim Puja Moolam Gurur Padam, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Krupa. The Krupa of Guru can give a person moksha also. But then, what is the difference between this? We use the word guide, consultant, or in friends also, Guru, apne badhiya idea de diya. We talk like that. So is it just the same or is it different? Anybody?
One will be more transactional, like
One
guide,
is,
consultant, and
ah,
the other one is based on devotion.
yeah. One is transactional. Here, what is this? Can you give something to the Guru in return for what you have received? No, it cannot. It is not like that. It is not a transaction where you give me this in return. But that tattva is there. You can experience. For me, I didn't know what Guru was, but when I was school, my physics professor was there. He was the first example for me of what a guru was. I had no idea of Adhyatma or Sanatan Dharma's Guru Parampara, anything. But this Professor Punjabi Kesan, he was a retired professor from Loyola College. He allowed us to ask any questions. He was very strict. People avoided him. But he had a very sweet habit of, in lunch break, he would sit inside of his room. Any student wants to come and ask me questions, allowed, any type of question is allowed. And for me, I really loved going to him because he allowed really out of syllabus questions also. What is black light? Why is sky blue? All these kind of questions, somebody is not going to come in your exam. Forget all of this. These are useless. But he allowed, and for me, he was the first example of what Guru was. But afterwards, I didn't understand. Then I was searching. Then I thought probably Dalai Lama. He's my Guru. I just took a photo of him. I would start praying. Then to Buddha, different places. Finally, I don't know. I used to cry. Give me a like Guru bin gyan. Kahan se paun? I need. It was a very difficult period. But then finally I found, and I did not even realize I would find my Guru in the same city where I am. I didn't have to leave the place also. But this aspect of identifying this, accept this realization is so important. Each of us must find. If you see, Arjuna found Guru in Krishna, though he didn't fully understand. His surrender was not complete, but at least he said, Shishyasteyam Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. The Bhagavad Gita began. Later on, we will see in the last what happens. And what does the Guru take from the Shishya? Big Guru Dakshina, isn't it? If you have 10 FDs, all these will go away. Yes, you have to surrender everything, isn't it? So what is that Guru taking in return?
Our ignorance.
Ignorance. Absolutely ignorance. Ahankar. It's probably he has a good distribution network, so he collects from and distributes it elsewhere or what, we don't know. But that person loses that. What we can say, Sat Shishya and Sat Guru. Excellent combination where divine work happens. The Krishna and Arjuna is there, something brilliant happens, something like that. That link is established. Like perfectly said, taking away the ignorance. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri guruve namah. Opening the eyes, not an ophthalmologist job only. Guru also does that job differently. He may not immediately remove cataract operation like that, but he might able to make you, empowered to see things which were in front of you but still invisible. So that is something. And Krishna says, why this is done? Well, see, these preceptors who possess the divinity and foresight, they shall bless and impart you their knowledge is light. Whatever knowledge they have received, where does the Guru receive from? From the divine only, or from his Guru, from the Srishti, from sadhana, from tapasya. It's basically sharing of knowledge and spreading of consciousness. That is all. Like my Guru, Damliji allows beautiful dialogue, so many questions, answers, jokes, everything is okay. But his Guru, if you say Nana Maharaj Taranika, was very different. His Guru, who was from the Datta Sampradaya, he had gone for a very difficult Narmada Parikrama, so many different challenges. His father used to wake him up. If he didn't wake up one day, in the early morning at 4, he hit his head onto the wall. Even that mark was there at such a young age. But that was his suffering. Whatever he got that knowledge, and he says, I got it so easily. My Guruji has experienced so many things, and he gives freely. We sometimes say, I'm very lucky I am to receive what you are giving so easily. He says, no, I got it very easily compared to my teachers. This aspect is the knowledge is going to be received. Krishna is telling you, like sometimes you want to go to a cold destination. If you don't know anything about the destination, you'll not prepare for it. But if you know the destination, then you'll prepare. Something like that. Why? Why seek the Guru? Because you will receive knowledge. But then comes the biggest question, what to do if I don't have a Guru? Anybody? You can follow what I did. Sit inside of a room, cry so much that parents also began to wonder, so he's got depression, what's going on? Why is he doing like this? What's wrong? Suddenly the Lama's photo is inside of the house. Another day Gautam Buddha is there. What is wrong? He's doing some japa. All of that. What should we do if we don't find anybody? Or probably we have now good search engines, isn't it? There only we can type and find the best, whoever has got best SEO optimization, good keyword reach that we can find. Or how is it? Anybody? What to do in such a dilemma?
Can you find your guru within yourself itself? Because we
Yes,
all have the Atman.
but sometimes if I find my guru inside of me, he will tell me, don't wake up on Monday. He will sometimes tell me, for me at least, I'm just talking about my case. For me, I require somebody's. But if we realize self-realization, that is also important. But before the self-realization, a connection is required. And for that connection, it's all right. Connect with your Aradhya. Establish Guru Shishya Nata with your Aradhya if you have not. Actually, it is said Guru cannot be found at all. You can't go searching for a Guru. Shishya has to become ready. Guru will present. Because Guru is a Tattva in the universe. Tattva is all pervading across the consciousness. If it is destined, you are going to be connected no matter what. All the forces of the world decide this is not going to happen, it will still not be powerful enough to bring that connection. So first thing is establishing, maybe holding on to Aradhya, our Ishta. We say Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. Why? We can experience. And as Umaji said, we can probably recognize that realization on inside. That is ultimate. Swatma Ramo Ham Bhuma Parama Sukhe Svena Swasmin Swayam Brahma Swe Mahimni Swanubhutam Satyam Jnana Dhanam Praptam Paramapadam. The highest knowledge can be also realized by the individual. But here, the reason why we say one day Guru means this Guru Parampara is because you bend, you bow, because what happens is difficult. It is difficult because our eyes are used to seeing certain things. Our mind is used, conditioned to certain things. I will know, hey, what this person is like this, that person is like this. We are going to see that. But probably we'll have to see something behind what is there, what is the higher truth. But that, I think, it requires conditioning. But Krishna is very simple, like he's saying here. What happens with this? You know what's going to happen, you're going to receive knowledge. So start making yourself receptive, no? Hold on to your Aradhya. I remember I had stopped reading the book which I was reading. I was not getting the answer because I felt now next step cannot go. I cannot proceed without Guru's direction, but I didn't know who my Guru was. So I kept praying to Aradhya. Praying. Only I made a mistake of adding my lower emotions. So there were tears, there was sorrow, there was unnecessary suffering. It's like आपने रावण को भी तो ये बच I started even doing Tandav Japa because see Sri Ravana is also such a horrible person. He also got Ashirwad and everything. I'm not that bad as Ravana. Or at least give me role, some role, negative role भी चलेगा. Give me something, give me that direction. So what happens is lower emotions, again, we talk about Gita, Sthita, Prajna state, we are talking about higher state. So lower emotions, keep them aside, hold on to the higher emotions, hold on to your Aradhya, and don't worry about searching for the Guru. If it happens, you will understand, you will know, you will realize it's not something that you have to, some people say you have to do a survey of your Guru. CV, you have to ask for Guru. Who is your Guru's Guru? What is the parampara? How much strength is he from this particular, what we can say, this school only? Or some people say his Guru's Guru also must be from the same Marga, otherwise this will create this kind of problem. No, we can't do that. I mean, when you go for a job application, I mean, you have applied for a job. Will you go to the CEO and ask, show me your resume? No, it is something like that. Instead, focus on what we can say. If you want Krishna's consciousness, first cultivate Arjuna's consciousness. Get ready. Think of Arjuna. Arjuna, grown-up man. His son is going to become a dad. That's his, like he's so experienced and matured. But look at how he is in front of Krishna. He's like a child. He's like a boy. Nobody knows his age. We see him emotional. We see such a powerful person also, straightforward and sincere. Well, that is important. That is what we can see. What happens then? We were talking about destination. Somebody tells you have to go to Kulu Manali and you don't know anything about it. Find out it's a cold place. You'll make arrangements, isn't it? You'll get warm clothes. Something like that. What is going to happen also, Krishna is telling you after getting the Guru, ultimately this realization will take place. Means you know what the destination is. Start preparing. Who knows on the way? Young Adi Shankaracharya had gone to the Himalayas, no, in search of a Guru. Somebody had asked him, who are you? So he started. Mano buddhi ahankara chitta ninaham na cha shrotra jihve na cha ghrana netre. What is that? He suddenly started what we call the Atma Shabdakam, the full composition of what is the Atman. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. And interestingly, he even told this person that he's like, na me mrityu shanka, na me jati bhedaha, pita naiva me naiva, mata na janma, na bandhur na mitram, gurur naiva shishya. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. I'm not the guru, I'm not the shishya, I don't have the father, I'm not a son. It's all identities have seized into that one identity of I being the Supreme One. And do you know whom he was answering all of this to? To his guru only. Later on, it was realized, and then he identified him as the guru. So that happens. That is not something which we should worry, but understand that this parampara is important. At least that much we get registered into our head. That will at least create a I want Krishna's consciousness. For that, let me first cultivate Arjuna's consciousness. Let me become that sincere. I will receive. Ekalavya understood importance of Guru. He did not even mind if Guru asked him, Guru Dakshina, with one finger. A lot of people say, oh, look, we have to fight for Ekalavya. Ekalavya today would have got angry. He's like, don't fight for me. I gave it happily. You are insulting my sacrifice. For me, that is nothing. He could have asked me to chop off my hand. I would have chopped. Why did he ask only one finger? I don't understand. That is his state. So that is the example of a Shishya. This is what we have to see, because Krishna says, what happens with the knowledge that you have received? Yajñatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutanyasheshena drakshasyatman yathomai. With this knowledge, O Arjuna, you shall know the true way, and your mind's ignorance shall never lead you astray. See, you shall first in all living entities the self's presence, and witness you shall in myself every being's existence. This is beautiful. Krishna says, what is that high knowledge, highest knowledge which will come is, you will first understand the right marga. Now, somewhere we already know what is the right thing to do, isn't it? So why does Krishna say it's so important to identify the right marga? In the Upanishads also, this shloka is actually very much connected with the Isha Upanishad, multiple verses, this very shloka itself. If you see the Isha Upanishad, there is a verse, Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanam apavrano satya dharmaya drishtayit. The Rishi is saying, what is he saying? The truth's path. It is like that. Show me the truth path. Satya dharmaya drishtayit. Let me see the path of truth. Why is he blind? Why does he need to know path of truth? He's already doing sadhana. Shouldn't he know the path of truth? No. The first line tells the truth. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham. Meaning truth is also covered by a golden lid. We look at the gold, we get carried away by its glittering, and we feel that is everything. But no, it is still on the surface. The higher truth is concealed. Like that, in our lives, many times we go through our lives. Life passes very fast. We don't realize it. Days go quickly, they turn into months, months become years, years into decades also. We don't realize how fast life passes. And in this passing of what Vega of life, many times we miss the path of truth, which might be in the front. But I think while going to work also, sometimes we get lost, isn't it? I took left turn instead of right turn. When did I take this turn? What happened there? It was not that we couldn't see. It was just that our mind got carried away. Something like that, it happens. And Krishna says, when you have identified, means one may Guru is guide for what? Guide for the path of life. It is like an indicator. What we have maps, isn't it? Which show us the direction to destination. You're going on the wrong track. Immediately signal comes, something like that. Depending on the Guru, we get that type of signal. The Guru is strict. We get a very strong signal with one electric shock also probably. But we go back to the right track. So that way we have to understand, and your ignorance will never take you astray, Krishna says. Because that is the problem of ignorance. It has the habit. Somebody is doing beautiful, doing wonderfully in life. Ignorance suddenly makes the person take a detour. Everything is, we sometimes say, oh, Graha is put some bad, drushti on me. We don't understand that drushti is put by us only on ourselves. We are the one. We are only doubting ourselves. We are only allowing people's statement and then we're happily blaming the Grahas. Grahas did this to me, Grahas did that to me, that person spoke. So it happened. No, I allowed that sanskar to be created on me. The sadhak is ready, the sadhak is strong and firm. And Krishna is saying this first realization will be first, you will not be taken astray. Second, he says, in all living beings, you will find the self. Means you will identify the presence of divinity. In what? In all living beings. How difficult it is. People we don't like, can we see divine? Anybody? Hmm. First thing, we see them only or we think about them, we get a wrinkle on our brow. "Arey, that person. No, 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 not right now. Today is auspicious day. I don't want to think of this person at all." Well, Krishna is saying you will begin to understand behind that also. And best would be to understand what is this. This is the experience of Sri Aurobindo in Alipur jail. If anybody can find it online, you can find it. I'll try to share a poetic version of it which I had rendered. But he got that experience inside of a 6 by 9 feet prison. He was in solitary confinement for so long, waiting to be hanged. I don't think we will call this like a retreat or a very pleasurable stay, isn't it? It's the worst of worst places. And yet he gets the experience. Sri Aurobindo got Krishna's experience inside of the cell. How beautiful is that rugged, that rug which was given to him, like a coarse blanket rug, what was given to him, would have been like a gunny sack. It was so horrible, so rough. He says that I could feel the arms of Madhava hugging me and embracing me. How beautiful is that? In the grating of the prison, the rods, there he could see. In the when he was taken for the hearing, there. In the prosecution, he saw Vasudeva. In the judge, he saw Vasudeva. In the council, every other side also, he saw Vasudeva only. In the audience also, there was Vasudeva only. And he was like relaxed. Krishna is taking care of what's going to happen. Means if such a difficult situation, we can become conscious of the divine presence. I don't think we are all in some kind of prison, isn't it? Or are we in that type of prison where we cannot even move, we cannot do anything, nothing like that? Well, then we have a great potential. We can realize. Maybe, yes, Karthik, please feel free to unmute anybody. Yeah, yes, sir.
So if in sorry, I joined late. So in this situation where we feel the presence of the divine, and we does that mean the existence of superstition is invalid?
Existence of
Superstition.
means the very word superstition means not based in truth, isn't it? You mean
True.
superstition itself is means it is not truth, isn't it? Or do you mean tantra is invalid or something like that, or what is what is valid?
On those lines, say if like for example you said if you come to believe like um, you said we end up blaming the grihas, right, for
Ah,
something that we
but
have done.
but now there's interesting. We'll go to that probably a little later also. On astrology, will because it's a big subject. It's a science. Astrology is science. Astrology is a shastra. But there's also something called man changa to hath mein ganga. Meaning mind
Yeah.
is strong. No? Mind is strong. Your mind is not going to receive the sanskar. Astrology also it is something like that. The day Amavasya and Purnima, there's a difference because why? Chandrama Manaso Jata, mind is connected. Chandra is the karak of the mind. On the full moon day and a new moon day, there is no influence suddenly, or there is blocking of that light that has a consequence. But how much will it help? Maybe small extent. It may help in some, but if the mind is so strong, people have transformed their patrikas also by sadhana. It is possible. It is something, but let us not go into astrology actually, because it is a science, but a lot of people make a business out of it also. So That is it is actually a good shastra. Everybody should know about their own horoscope, but not probably from all the Jyotishis. You study yourself, understand the Navagrahas, understand their functions. They are all like parents. And what do parents do? Parents help in raising the child, isn't it? Good parents, divine parents. They are divine parents. Sometimes some parents trouble the children also. That is all part and parcel of life's game. But the divine parents, their job, you can't expect them to be so angry for no reason or something. Some are strict, some are loving, some are mysterious, some are very slow in their actions, something like that. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are able to see the divine, you will be able to see the reason behind some of the things which you find unreasonable or unfair. Also, you might be able to find that what we can see missing link behind my fall. I'm grateful today for a lot of moments which I fell down. I fell down flat on my face. Now, if I look at it, I can laugh about it. But that time, it was not laughing matter for me. It was most embarrassing or most sorrowful or most disappointing moment of life. But today, I can see that that was required. You take that moment out, I will cease to remain what I am today. As far as, and then there are perceptions. No, breaking of glass is called Apshagun. But I was in Pune in a Gurukul. There, a glass broke. The what we can say Guru Mata in that Gurukul, she said, this is the Shagun of Lakshmi Prasanna. I was like, wow. I just told her I've never heard this. She said, yes, we have always believed it. What a difference. What a difference in perspective. It makes a difference. Damleji is like we can say Guru Bandhu and Damleji on the same day. They both experienced during the Navaratri, they experienced the light flame turning off. One of them got very disturbed by it. Damleji again did not want to create disturbance in the home, so he lit the lamp and again completed everything. And his friend called him in the next day and said, what happened? He said, yeah, it turned off. But he didn't discuss further, but I am very disturbed. What has happened? When Damleji went to his guru and said, I just ignored it, turned it on again and did my work. He said, yes, the outer flame was turned off and an inner flame was lit. That's the difference. So I think we need not worry about it. But first experience is the experience of the divine universally. In the Isha Upanishad also, Yatte Kalyanatamam Tatte Pashyami. Let me see in all that is brilliant, in all that is beautiful. Who is called upon? The great yogis call upon Pushan Bhagwan to give that realization of divinity in the universe. Because that is the first requirement. After this only we get the next requirement, realization of Soham Asmi. Means I am that. For that, I have to first see divinity. Sri Aurobindo saw in the body of criminals and swindlers also who were in the jail, Vasudeva. He said, in the misused bodies too, I saw you. That drishti probably has to be cultivated. That can come probably with the, what we can say, margadarshan of a guru also. Krishna goes on. He says, this is the power of the knowledge. The knowledge that is received can transform a person. Asheshanapi chedasi. Yeah, api chedasi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamaha sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrujinam santarishyasi. Even a sinner, even a sinner who has the greatest sin performed, by this knowledge, the sinner can be reformed, surpassing the sea of wickedness. He shall pass through, boarding the ship of knowledge. He'll cross a horizon new. Krishna says the sinner also can get transformed. What is the transformation of a sinner? Well, when the sinner realizes I have done sin, that is the transformation, isn't it? It is wrong. What we can say immediately, the prayashchit begins. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Forgive me. I was wrong. Help me. I will transform. That realization has to come. Then only the person that what we can say can be eliminated completely. Sant Jnaneshwar had said, Duritanche timira jao. The wrongdoer, inside of the wrongdoer, let that feeling of doing wrong disappear. Then that person will receive, that person can move towards the right light. And with a knowledge, Krishna is saying, with the higher knowledge, it can bring about a transformation. What will happen? Suddenly a rapid transformation can take place. This is the power of realization. The Buddha also talked about ourselves being one spark away from realization. Just a spark away. We don't know it. We don't know it yet, but that realization is not so far away that we think it will never come to me. Many people underestimate themselves. Yeah, I'm not worthy of realization. There are great people, so much greater than me. No, all of this is not required. This is not humility. This is a false, what we can say, berating of oneself, which is not required, and it's not required in sadhana. If you only are bad to you, what will do? Rest of the world is already ready to trouble you, and you are the only one who can be your best friend. That also you're not going to do, then what's going to happen? You will unnecessarily suffer, and suffering is not required. In sadhana, also suffering is not required. Pain, ठीक है, it will come when things, moments come, somebody behaves in a wrong manner, or physical pain, emotional, mental, all of that, they're going to come without our calling only. But we don't have to just add or magnify it. So this is one thing. The worst sinner can be transformed, is what Krishna is saying. And after the transformation, life appears completely different. Means a person may be in all the biggest bandhanas of life, and suddenly the realization will come, yes, I don't have any bandhana. It's because I am allowing it, I am feeling bound. Just, just one step and I'm free. I'm not anymore trapped. That realization comes. When that realization comes, we are free, and you will be able to see a new horizon. Meaning, what is the horizon? Anybody? Yes, anybody? What is this horizon? This word
It is the area in which the earth appears flat.
to be meeting.
That
Yeah,
is
and the earth
also,
appears to be
yes,
meeting the sky.
because we feel that it is flat. Like,
Yeah. But the point was our farthest reach, you can see it's like our sky and earth are meeting together
yes.
at this point. That is, so here a new horizon is visible, meaning you are going to witness new potentialities in your own life. By that awakening, even sinner can get transformed. Anybody knows Valia the hunter?
Yeah.
We had looked. Yes. What was his transformation? Anybody? Yes, Madam Rajni ji. Valia became transformed into,
Valmiki.
yes, isn't it? Rishi Valmiki. And the transformation was just by one question, isn't it? Narada, he stopped Narada, and Narada didn't have anything. Why will he was already a Muni? So what material positions he will have? He just asked him, these sins your family is also going to bear. You are doing all of this for whom? For my family. He says pride, with a lot of pride. So will your family take bear all your sins also? What you have done is wrong. He said, of course they will. He said, I'll stay here only. If you don't trust me, ask your men to hold on to me. I will not run away. Go and ask them and come. So Himalaya goes, obviously, he's been working so hard, stealing from people for his family, that he goes and he asks his wife, dear, for you, for our family, I have done so much. Will you not bear a portion of the sin? Some yogi who is a little weird is asking me this. No, I didn't ask you to do this, Chaurya Karma. You chose that path. But I've been getting you so many. That is because I am doing my duty. You did that, I'm not going to bear. Shocked, disappointed. He turns to his children. Bete, children, are you going to bear a little bit of my sin? I'm having too much sin. I've done it. You have got toys, you've got other things, everything because of me. Kids say, no, we are too young. We didn't have a choice. You foisted it upon us. And we are born with our karma. We will do what we want. We're not going to bear your sin. Disappointed, he finally turns to his parents. Acha, theek hai, at least my parents, my Janmadata, they are also getting benefit. He goes to them and then, will you take a portion of the sin that I have incurred? They say, no, we are too old. We don't want that. He's like, what is this? Everyone is taking only malai. Nobody wants to bear any of the consequence. And that is where he gets shocked and he says, yes, this was wrong and I'm going to bear the consequences of my action. And that transformation takes place. And then he goes, and what happens is a mega transformation. And he becomes Maharshi, the great Rishi Valmiki. Valya Ratnakar becomes Valmiki. What a transformation. So I want to know how many of us have done Chaurya Karma? Have we done dacoity? Have we stolen from people? Have we robbed? Have we hurt people so much? Anybody? Is there anyone? Okay, it's getting recorded, so even if you are, you better not confess right now at least. But I don't think any one of us has done that. So when Rishi Valmiki can be born from a dacoit, don't you think we have a greater potential, at least by tarka or logic, or by the same, at least we have potential for transformation. That much at least we can agree. Whether or not greater, we can discuss that later on. Yes, Angulimal's transformation. That is also one more Dr. Vidishaji says. So I think, can we all agree that transformation is possible for us, in us? Yes, we'll move ahead because that is the entire crux of this shloka actually, why we've stopped for this. Yes or no? You know, I'm not going to, I cannot transform at all. Time of transformation is gone. Can we say that? Or transformation can be any time, it can be now also. Anybody? Do you agree? Yes? If we resolve, okay.
Yes,
Yes,
we
Umaji has
can
said yes.
transform.
It's
Rajgopaji
an
has said
ongoing process.
ongoing process, and but we are definitely capable if we decide, if we have that resolve or determination. Let us continue. Krishna says, Yathai samidhognir bhasmasat kuruterjuna jnanagnihi sarvakarmani bhasmasat kuruterjuna kurute tatha. O Arjuna, just like when an inferno blazes, everything, its fire, consumes, burns, and raises. The fire of ethereal knowledge, everything burns, every action and works into ashes. It thus turns. So, like the inferno, how is it that is the Agni? Jnana Agni is like that inferno. Inferno is a fire which is blazing, raising everything in its path. Like that, all karma, whichever karma, big karma, small karma, everything in front of this knowledge becomes what we can say. Like all different colors, when they join together, what happens? It becomes white light, isn't it? When all colors merge together, it is something like that. This is that unadulterated knowledge of light. And this light brings about the transformation. It burns all that is incomplete, all that is ignorant will disappear. Suddenly, even what we can say this, you have heard of the shloka, isn't it? Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamam vande paramananda madhava. So sat, chit, ananda all come in that prakasha only of knowledge, of realization. That is what is Krishna saying. Everything burns into ashes. Krishna says, Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram miha vidyate tat swayam yoga sansiddha kalenatmani vindati. This is pavitra, pure, excellent. It is immaculate. Nothing can be better than this. More immaculate than this. There is nothing. Then the radiance of knowledge is unadulterated light. He who has integrated the yogic principles in everything attains in himself the true self's insight. What Umaji was saying, the highest realization comes when you integrate into all your actions, your karma also, your chintan also, your manan also, all of it, you are connecting with the higher consciousness. Then you receive it, is what you will get the higher insight. If you look at it in a practical manner, you will cease to be disturbed. You will cease to be disturbed by the outer occurrences. Most of the time, outer occurrences only disturb us, isn't it? Normally, we like to be calm and peaceful on our own. Suddenly, somebody comes and says, "You must do this. You must do this for me. I want you to do that." What happens then? Our emotions immediately. Or for this person, I have to do this. But it's not right. You're not willing to see it because your emotions have taken control. But when that realization comes, you'll see, "Arey, this is not prayers. This is prayers. I have to walk on the path of Shreyas. I can't keep doing something for somebody else only. I have to know what is right." The Satya Dharma becomes clear. Everything becomes what we can say crystal clear in that light of knowledge. They say Vivek Buddhi gets Jagrut. Vivek Buddhi is another, like it is called Sat Asat Vivek Buddhi, meaning the ability to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. They're very simple. If you can understand it, you will never go astray. But the question is, when do we need Sat Asat Vivek Buddhi? Only when we are purchasing market shares or something, investing in shares, or Sat Vivek Buddhi is required at all times? That is the big question, actually. It's all times it's required. We don't realize sometimes little moments lead to very bad moments, and we don't realize that we have only been feeding them slowly. So at all times, how do we understand? Well, we'll have to seek. How do we get it? One simple aspect is Shraddha. Again, Shraddha comes into the picture. Shraddha comes to simplify things. Every time knowledge looks far away, Shraddha makes it very close, easy to achieve. Ratnakar's chanting also. He was told to chant Rama. Boss mistook it and said Rama. But you see, with Shraddha, it was done. This is again, there are some people say it was not exactly this story. We are looking at the Bhavartha. I am not an expert storyteller also. So there might be discrepancies. But the Bhavartha is this, that with Shraddha, a mantra also can be changed. Ms. Karthik ji said about the grahas. Again, if you have Shraddha, why do you have to worry about anything? Grahas are also like your devats. I made a biggest mistake of chanting in Shani Mandir Guru's stotra because I was very stupid. When I finished my engineering, I thought, let us get blessing from Shani Maharaj. I had gone for my first marketing trip, and in a place called Karikal, there's a big Shani Mandir there. And I did not ask my guru also about the mantra. And that time internet was not so prevalent. So I asked on phone to my mother. She heard something, she told me something, and I noted down something. And I thought, chalo, theek hai, it is Guru is going to get prasanna. I mean, Shani Maharaj is going to get prasanna. And I started chanting. I felt so happy after chanting. I put my foot outside. First thing I did is I put my foot in cow dung. I was like, wow, what an auspicious occasion this is. This looks like God is happy, and this is another auspicious action. So I went through the entire day thinking it was auspicious. I went to my guru and also told it was not a very successful trip. I didn't get too many orders, but it was an all right one. When I told everything, and then I said, I did something extra. Okay, very good. What is it? I said, I chanted this mantra. Devanancha Rishinancha. They were very quietly looked at me. Acha. Did you not notice that Deva's name is not there in it? And I was like, sorry. Yes, Shani Maharaj's name is not there. And I was like, oh my God, I have chanted Guru Mantra in Shani's temple. Now Shani is going to get annoyed. I was again afraid at that time. Then Namli said, you think gods are like you, immature, and they will get angry or irritated because you told that god's name, so now I am going to curse you. But then I realized, ki, chalo, theek hai, at least they would have laughed and you would say, useless person, let me at least out of pity, he would have given some blessing. Whatever it is. But this aspect of Shraddha allows us to transcend the limitations. So highest knowledge is far away, have Shraddha. That is why Shraddha is very important. If you have a guru, it is very simple. Shraddha on Guru. ध्यानमूलं गुरुमूर्तिं पूजामूलं गुरुर्पदं मंत्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा. Mokshamula Guru Kripa means Guru's Kripa itself is equal to moksha. You're not able to do dhyana of Aradhya, dhyana of the Guru is sufficient. Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam. Simple words of the Guru. I know people who have been in their throughout lives, difficult moments they're remembering. They say I've heard them tell to their gurus, yeah, your words help me. One dialogue I remember Dhamliji telling one Shishya who had just decided to go to Australia, and then astrologically all difficult moments were coming to him, and he said, I consulted some Jyotishis also. They told probably this is unfavorable time. I probably come back is what they have suggested. Dhamliji simply told, see, if you come back, it is because of you that you have come back, not because of the grahas that you have come back. There was one line only on the phone. I don't know, he said that took me very strongly, it shook me, and I held on to that line. 1 year they had to struggle, wife had to work, she made extra, she worked in a bakery, she worked elsewhere, everything to support the home. Somehow they managed. Now they're having their own home and family settled well they're in a very good position in Australia. But that time there was a time where that person was going to leave everything. So again, the aspect of Shraddha is very important. Here Krishna says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparaha sayatendriyaha jnanam labhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati. He whose faith is strongly ordained and a control over senses, he who has attained, is by the supreme knowledge enlightened, and his ascent to absolute peace is ascertained. So the one who has Shraddha, that person is going to have control over the Indriyas also, and that person is going to get that Param Shanti, the quietude that comes from confidence, the quietude that comes from a realization. Yes, this force is there, the higher force is with me. I am working along its directions. That is very, very peaceful. That is one aspect of life which will actually one aspect which will really make life very peaceful. It is when your Shraddha is Dhruda. But what about somebody who does not have Shraddha? Immediately in the questioning mind, no? Questions everywhere. The difference between Shraddha and one without Shraddha is so simple. What is a person with Shraddha do? He tries to have what we call a positive or like optimistic approach of things. The one who is having no Shraddha is always pessimistic. The one who is having Shraddha will go into a park and see, ah, what a beautiful park, so nice. I'm thankful for everything. What a wonderful thing. Something nice the person will be able to see. Means say Shraddha in the person who has invited that person to the park. Wow, wow, what a nice park this person has shown. But if you don't have Shraddha in the person, what will happen? Ah, this person has called me to the park. See, that dog is there, is running around like that. Look what that dog has done in the other place. You can see it is all a dirty place. I can see this place. See, the flowers are also not growing here. The park is the same for both people. But the one with Shraddha is able to experience the beauty. The one without Shraddha is filled with doubts. And that is the problem, is what Krishna is saying. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. With Shraddha, you will get the knowledge. In school, this teacher does not know anything. He is just wasting our time. If we have this attitude, can we learn anything from the teacher? No, हमें पता है this person is going to just delay this theorem. There may be a simpler way. This person is teaching wrongly. We'll never be able to learn. But instead, I know one method of solving. Let me look at this person's method. This person must have, even if this person is not very good, he must have taught to around 50, 60, 70 batches. Automatically, Siddhi must have come. Let us find the best answer how this person is solving, and we'll probably learn. Such a way, you will definitely identify. That is what Krishna is saying. The next part is the drawback of not having Shraddha. Agnyascha, Agnyascha Shraddhadhanascha Sanchayatma Vinashyati Nayam Lokoasti na paro na sukham sanshayatmanaha na sukham sanshayatmanaha. There is no sukha for a person who is having doubts. Doubts in whom? Well, doubts in anybody. Or doubt in self also. Worst is having self-doubt. Sometimes, okay, you don't have doubt, you have doubt on somebody. Sometimes it's a misplaced doubt. I think that person is bad. I think this person is cruel. I think this person is like this. It's all right. Somewhere you will get a realization later on. But when you are having self-doubt, you'll forget yourself only completely. I don't have any divinity in me. Nothing good is ever going to happen in my life. These are all doubts which cage a person, which trouble a person. If these doubts are there, we are unnecessarily harboring enemies inside of our own home. This is not something we want. We'll have to throw them away. Krishna says, the one who is faithless and ignorant, for whom neither this world nor the other is existent. By infinite doubts, his mind is plagued, and by his own skepticism, he is destroyed. Krishna is not saying, blasphemy, you didn't listen to me, I'm going to curse you. He's not saying all of that. He's saying your doubts will only create a trouble for you. Everywhere you are going to doubt. I think in a relationship, when doubt comes in, what happens to the relationship? Anybody. You have given room for doubt, and that doubt has taken a permanent, like, a guest only. Rental agreement has been formed. The doubt is saying, I'll stay now for these many days. What will happen to that relationship then? Anybody? It'll crumble, no? It breaks. Absolutely. This is something. This aspect means Shraddha is the basic essence of a relationship. If there's no relationship, you can identify it. But when the doubt comes in, even what is true will appear false, no? That is what we call a mirage. So Krishna says, one who is faithless and ignorant, and this doubt is not about people, this doubt is about the divine, mostly. Krishna says, the one who is faithless and ignorant, for whom neither this world nor the other is existent. By infinite doubts, his mind is plagued, and by his own skepticism, he is destroyed. So this is the enemy within. Arjuna, what happened to him? Did he get fever? He said, no, my throat has become dry, there's a shiver in my spine. Somebody would have immediately, modern times, they would have, chalo, take this tablet, antipyretic se kaam ho jayega. Or, okay, borderline PTSD is happening, let us quickly give him some kind of injection to relax. But what was happening to Arjuna? It was not a physical ailment, it was a mental, what we say, psychosomatic condition taking place. Psychologically, one person is having doubt that is creating problems in the physical body. Some people are so strong mentally that even physical body problems they're able to throw away. But sometimes some people are very vulnerable that something is told and immediately that has an effect. Anybody has heard of that irritable bowel syndrome? Yes? Anyone?
Yes, sir, it is stress induced mostly.
Yes, Dr. Vidisha ji. It is stress induced, isn't it? Oh, I met this person, now my stomach bowels have got troubled because this person is a source of my stress. So this is something we must learn to come out of it. We must come out of it because these doubts are our enemies. Krishna says, Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna sanshayam atmavantam na karmani nibadhnanti dhananjaya. Oh Arjuna, he who has about doubts risen and sacrificed all, desiring nothing for himself, is no more bound in karma's prison, for he has attained a true knowledge of the self. You see, the karma bandhana also start activating more. That is why it is said, Man changa to hath mein Ganga. As simple as that. If your mind is strong, if your mind is what we can say, druda, then nothing can trouble you. That is why so many great yogis first say, make your mind strong. How do you make mind strong? Pearl ring in left hand, index finger. This big ring should be there, this much with silver. It should be worn on Somvar after what we can say 100 times japa of Dadishankha Tusharabham Sheho Dharanam Sambhavam Namami Shashinam Somam Shambhor Mukuta Bhushanam. So only that, but that will help. We're not saying that gemology is there. It's also a science. Gems interact with the body, all of it. That is fine. But more than that, how do you make your mind strong? Anybody? We've got the clue in this adhyay only. How do we make our mind strong? Anybody?
Dhyana.
Dhyana. Okay. Shivangi ji says dhyana. Uma ji says dhyana. Anybody else would like to add?
Meditations and raising our vibration
Sorry, Anjuji, I
by
didn't get it clearly.
meditating, doing
Okay.
good karmas, and that's how we can raise our vibration.
Okay, by meditating, by doing right work, by doing good work. One more important aspect is there.
Shraddha.
Shraddha, Shraddha. That is very, very important. Shraddha is there, no? That should actually allow us to have a strong, firm footing that will not shake. Shraddha is something which is going to remain firm, that will not allow any storm to enter into our life also. It will pass. Shraddha will allow. One small example I can say is my Guruji only had told, this year is very good for you. It was around 2013, I think. 13, 14. Like, अच्छा ठीक है गुरुजी ने बोल दिया है तो good. So the year went very quickly. I like time flies. So at the end of the year, after the year was complete, suddenly one day randomly, time has passed. Okay, last year was very bad. Like, what? You told me last year was good. I said, no, if I had told you it was bad, you would have got more attached to it, you would have got more worried. But this, according to Graha horoscope, that is the year where you come on the streets. Chappal also is sold by a person in this kind. That was the position in your horoscope. But I didn't feel that the entire year. And then when I went back in retrospect, oops, that accident also had taken place. This also had happened. That also had happened. Actually, so many bad things were happening, but I didn't realize it for me because for me, I was under the shelter of the Guru. I was like, chalo, theek hai. It's all right. It's okay. Because I was not able to see something like that. Shraddha is a weapon, and Krishna is saying, use Shraddha as a weapon to cut all of these bandhanas of doubts which come in our life. Anjaneya also had doubts, no? The great Maharudra had doubts that I will not be able to climb, I will not be able to take the leap. How did he understand? Again, Jai Shri Ram, and he went. So that Shraddha is the strength. Again, how is he? He is somebody with great self-control. So that will help us. We see Krishna is saying, he who has above doubts risen and sacrificed all, desiring nothing for himself. One more aspect is when you have doubts, when you have insecurities, when you're about to lose something, yeah, this is my small wish. Please fulfill this wish. Then you'll, what if this wish doesn't get fulfilled? What will happen? Forget it. No, what wishes you are having so important, higher than the divine. Divine knows what is important for you in life. Let's forget everything else. Focus on becoming an instrument of the divine. If the divine wishes you to go left, go left. If the divine wishes you go right, go right. Why are you worrying about anything else? Have that Shraddha that the divine is taking you on the marga. It's simple as that. All other doubts will disappear, insecurities will be lost because you sacrificed everything to the divine. Krishna Arpanam. It is as simple as that. Such a person is no more bound by karma's prison. Why? For he has attained a true knowledge of the self. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam ritstham jnana sinatmanaha chitvainam sanshayam yogam atishta uttishta bharata. Okay, who is Uttishta Govinda? We say like that. This Govinda is telling Uttishta Bharata to Arjuna. I mean, what more greater fortune is it that the God is saying, rise, fight, stand up, Uttishta Arjuna. Swami Vivekananda had given that mantra and it became a mantra for ages, if not for centuries. He had said, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. How many people drew, inspiration from that mantra because the sthana from where it has come. Like that, now Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, Attishta Uttishta Bharata. He says, Chitvainam Sanshayam Yogam. He says, therefore, this ignorance that your heart has borne, let its wheel be shred and torn. With the saber of knowledge, besiege its disguise. O son of Bharat, attain the union, awaken and arise. So Krishna is calling him, O son of Bharat. Bharat is what? Our country, isn't it? But Bharat is also, Bha is the Bhaskar's light, light of truth, the light of knowledge. We are a land which was known from the ancient times to be the source of light. And we are the seekers of light. That is why we are Bharatiyas. So this is saying, oh Bharat, arise. Let this ignorance which is there in your heart, unnecessarily you are feeling weak, unnecessarily because of outer circumstances, you're feeling incapable, or like you're feeling incapable of doing things. I am weak, I'm like this. And weakness, is weakness only physical? No, isn't it? Some people can have the biggest and most, broadest of shoulders, and like Arjuna was Mahabahu, no? Yet, what happened to it? And conversely, somebody may be having no bahu at all, very, what we can say, narrow shoulders. Still, that person can have the strength of what strength comes from divinity inside of persons. Joan of Arc, what is her story? She was not so powerful, but big knights bowed to her. They recognized divinity in her. What she said was understood, and people followed, ready to sacrifice their lives. So Krishna says, forget all of this. Forget all of this. He says, your heart is right now besieged by ignorance. That is the reason for all your problems at this moment. That you are not experiencing Ananda. Ananda is supposed to be experienced at all times. When Krishna was in Vrindavan, everybody experienced Ananda around him. That was his job, to spread Ananda everywhere he went. But we forget that Krishna is also there in our lives. We don't realize it. So let us realize Let us throw away that doubt with the saber of knowledge. This is a sword which can cut the prison of ignorance. Krishna is saying, oh, Chitvainam Sanshayam Yogam Attishta Uttishta Bharata. Rise up, O son of light, is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. We now just go to one more shloka of the fifth adhyaya and we will complete. But from what Krishna has said, and Krishna, we said just now, we said, no, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Krupa. So the words of the Guru are having such a great power of transformation. So, what transformation do you think will happen in Arjuna right now? Will he rise? Anybody, what do you think? Krishna has himself told, Uttishta Bharata, and fight. Forget all of these doubts that you have had. Arjuna was asking doubts, everything Krishna was saying, he was doubting. He's like, Krishna, what you're telling me about great Manu and Ikshvaku? You thought Surya? I'm having a doubt. I don't understand what you are saying. So will the doubts now end? Anybody? Yes, Umaji's written something. Darkness, words of, what is it? Word of Ji? Yeah, okay, Karthik.
I think he moves one step closer to becoming mentally strong to face
Okay,
his karma.
yes, he goes closer. But Krishna's direct instruction, we can say Guru Vakya rising, does he follow it?
He tries at least.
Okay, he tries, but he's not yet successful. That means doubts if you are having, and even if Krishna is your Sarathi, Krishna is driving your life, everything is happening according to Krishna's direction, then also you can have all the doubts. Even having, after having the luxury of having the divine in your life. This is what has happened to Arjuna, because Arjuna does have doubts. We can be, like I said, we are grateful to Arjuna for all these doubts, because there are doubts also. We get the answers. If I was in Arjuna's place, nobody would be reading the Gita, because Gita would not exist only. I would have asked Krishna what to do. He would have said, fight. He's like, yes, sir, over. Boring, nothing. Because Arjuna asks these questions, we are going to get a chance to explore different dimensions of our life. But it's interesting, isn't it? 5,000 years ago, this was the dialogue. Some people say, don't use the word 5,000, make it 13,000. Some say, no, make it 7,000. Whichever thousand we may call it. So many thousand years old question, the dialogue at a different age, different time. You see, the era was also different. We didn't have the technology that we have today. At that time, they had a different spiritual technology, which we don't have today. But still, these questions are so relevant to our everyday life that itself is quite miraculous. And if not any other word to describe it, it is unbelievable. So let us see now. Arjuna is asking a question. We'll stop with Arjuna's question. At least he will not say Krishna is confusing him, like last time he had said, no? Tadekam vada nishyatya. Oh, Krishna, one side you're telling Adhyatma, next side you're talking Karma Yoga. Don't confuse me. Tell me one. Tell me one that is profitable. He's a good businessman. He says, I want what is going to benefit me. Tell me right away. Let us see. Sanyas Arjuna Uvacha. Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shansasi yat shreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Look at Arjuna. What does he say? Oh Krishna, the virtue of renunciation of actions you praise, and yet a union with the divine in all actions you raise. Of these two, which is the best? Please do tell. Which is the way that will augur me well? Arjuna's record is still stuck in that cassette. Only how earlier there used to be cassette, you will get stuck and replay again and again. So something is going on. All that Krishna is saying, still he's saying, no, tell me with certainty, as if Krishna is only confused. He's saying, Krishna, you're contradicting. You're telling me two different things. One side, he says, you are talking about brilliance of renunciation, sacrifice everything to me. So what is this? You're asking me to sacrifice everything. And the other side, you're asking me to do actions in a state of oneness with the divine. You either ask me to do actions or you ask me to do sacrifice. You're confusing me and telling me both. He says, And you see again, he says, and one thing is very beautiful. He wants to know what is Shreyas. What is going to be profitable? What is going to be right? I want only that. Don't give me extra. He says, Yat Shreyaha etayorekam. Any one you tell me, not both. And that took tell me sunishchitam with clarity, as if Krishna was saying in a very unclear manner. So I think it is good. We stop with this question. Next week we will look at what is the fifth adhyay, which is about renunciation. What is this sannyasa? Many times people say, what is the meaning of ultimately don't go on this path. Don't read Gita, it will make you sannyasi. What is the meaning of sannyas? Only they have not understood. People think sannyas means leaving everything, leaving all actions. But what is the real meaning? That we'll have to wait for Krishna to say. So with this, we conclude today's session. Can someone share some of the takeaway points? We'll have a good weekend, so we'll have multiple points to take away. Yes, anybody? So that we can have a chintan. And I also look forward to hearing them, so I'll be able to remember them over the weekend. Yes, please. Anybody? Yes, some points. Okay, Umaji has said having Shraddha, eliminating self-doubt. That is one thing. So whom do we have Shraddha? Whom do we resolve to have Shraddha in as of this moment? Lalita ji has written on Krishna. Okay. Anybody? Yes,
In the
Deena ji?
Guru, in our Guru,
Okay, in Guru. All right. What about self? Shraddha in oneself? Yes?
But can that not be borderline narcissistic if we start having?
How is it borderline, Aditi ji?
Then
Having
because then we'll not have any, because Shraddha has no space for doubt or introspection. Like it cannot be critical. So if we need to be critical of ourselves also.
no, Krishna, Arjuna had Shraddha in Krishna. That's why he said no.
Not
Shishyastem. But he was critical also. The critical actually after a point the doubts will cease. In as Shraddha evolves, no, we reach a point where doubts will cease to exist. No more questions come. That time it's a different. That time the hearing also is not happening only by the ears. On a different level. They say like conversations also, no. We talk. We are talking in what we call Vaikhari. But there are other levels of conversations also. Madhyama is there. Para is there, Pashyanti is there. So that as the evolution takes place, that will happen. So till then, at least as a, what we can say, insurance for ourselves, a kind of a protection or kavach, is let us not doubt ourselves. If we are sincere, should we have any doubt inside of us? That we can hold on to with sincerity. If you hold on to sincerity, don't worry about doubts. That is one thing Krishna has told, because he said, Uttishta Bharat, Arjuna, rise above this prison of doubts, because we only won't realize our potential. So one is this, Shraddha is there. Yes, anybody else? Anything else you would like to point out?
And there is always a chance of transformation. It is never too late.
Yes, that is very, very important. Many people think the transformation time is gone. I've seen a 25-year-old person saying, in this life I lost the chance. I have now reached my maximum intellectual faculty. I will not be able to do anything new. At 25. This person says, I am going to retire at 50. My own classmate, he says, just some more years now, my child will be, she's now growing well, after which her schooling will be over, her college will be over, then my job is over. I'm going to retire, nothing more in life after that. I said, what about beyond 50? Isn't there anything? No, what do you do after 50? I said, what is this? I went to my teacher, my Guruji at he was 65 that time, and from then so many activities, the works never end. Newer projects come, newer things are happening all the time. That Chaitanya is there. Well, yes, if we realize that it is never too late, we realize that, we can transform. Karthik ji wants to add something?
I just want to understand, do you think it is, to some extent at least, it is important to have uh, an element of self-doubt? Not,
No, means there is something called Swabhiman. means means you see, whenever you do you can do with a lot of caution. Caution is required. Caution is required. You can follow the precautions when you are doing. And some people have tendency of doubting. Means tendency, you tell them don't doubt, also you'll have doubts. I can say from case in point myself. Because I used to always doubt everything. Even manufacturing, every time I do a batch bigad gayi, batch bigad gayi. Now what I learned is, I have now learned to not give room to that doubts, because I don't still get the freedom from doubts coming. But now I'm saying, chalo, these many years I've manufactured, no, this time also this batch would not have, I've followed all the steps. So I'm having Shraddha in the Kriya, maybe not in my mind. I'm doubting, maybe the thoughts are there, it's all right. But somewhere Shraddha Sthan should be there. Because if you don't have that, somewhere where you are self-critical can lead to sometimes you are over-critical also. When you are a little bit, means that is a very fine line. Instead of that, yes, criticize yourself happily every time, no problem. But don't allow this doubt to come in. That becomes a biggest enemy. And they say world is waiting to get you. In your worst moment, people are there who are just waiting, pining. How many people? I know so many, they wanted me to fall. And they told it in me in my face. Now it's not for them, I have to do something, but at least for myself, I have to get into a zone where I will not push myself down, no? Because otherwise I'll allow the lower forces to come into my life. So yes, you should be critical of yourself, but in that criticism, let us not start doubting ourselves. Then we start even doubting our own intentions. That becomes so dangerous. Was I like this? Am I really like this? Imagine you ask this question to somebody else. Who's going to answer how you are other than yourself? But now you are no more accepting your own judgment. You're not able to recognize yourself. That should not happen. That's all.
I
But
think
otherwise, yes, Aditi ji.
that self-introspection is a better word. Like that you should always have.
Yeah, always, absolutely. बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा न मिलया कोई. That is the thing, no? जो दिल खोजा अपना मुझसा बुरा न कोई is what Kabir Das Dohe is. Means when he's saying I'm looking and trying to make myself better and better. I'm seeing this fault, I'm eliminating that fault. But for that we need a Shraddha Sthana. Shraddha Sthana should be atal, that which will not shake, that which will not move. And that is why we need to have a foundation which is very firm. So that is why different ways I've been told. Some people do with, when you do regular dhyana also, it becomes a part of your sanskara and kriya. Suddenly that dhyana mantra comes into your head and you become quiet, no matter what difficulty is there. Or some people rush to their devats. They call upon a devat's name, get the strength. Those who are lucky, who have their gurus in their vicinity, they go directly to the guru. Those who are not lucky to have guru nearby also are lucky to have smaran of guru and become free. Tasya smarana matrena sarva papai pramunchate, it is said about Dattatreya. So yes, I think that was one more point Karthik ji raised. So yes, we can get transformed. Worse sinners can get transformed. We are not bad sinners. Sanatana Dharma at least tells us that we're not children of sin. We're Amrutasya Putra Vayam, children of that immortal consciousness. So we have a great potential of realizing divine in our lives and probably making our life divine. So with this, let us conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyat dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. The real Gita has not started yet. Arjuna is not asking the right questions. He's still having doubts. When he starts asking, it becomes very deep. Yes, ji. All right, ji. Hari Om.
ये क्वेश्चन है
Okay, yes, ji.
actually we say that Bharat, India, is the sort of a spiritual guru for all over the world. पहले भी
Is
था,
yet
अभी
to
भी है.
become, is yet to become now. Destiny is there. And some
But
aspects we
why
are
is
waiting.
Bharat? Why not other country?
Yeah.
That's the like, I don't know whether it's a silly question, but
Very
why
nice.
Bharat?
It's not a silly question. Ha ha. You are in Germany right now. No? You don't feel Germany is going to be guru, is it? They have such great engineering technology. We used to really be
Right.
envious of
Still
the
it's lacking
Germans.
a lot of stuff.
You
Seen
are seeing
already.
you're seeing the scene. Too much of influx of immigrants have really destroyed the already what we can say. It was already a small balance which was maintained between the technology and inner. That is also got little. Yeah, okay, but the question is right, and this question also was asked to Damleji actually by one of his sisters. One Bade Bhaiya, I know of him. He's around a few years senior to me. He came and asked why everybody is doing God only in India.
Yes,
This
that's what.
why so many gods only in India? Why not anybody else? Why not in other countries? They all have only one, or so many countries have only one god. Here you have a Grama Devata, you have a Sthana Devata. So many devatas are there. Well, Damaji had answered very nicely that time. I remember the answer because it was a very strong, sharp question also. It was something which normally people don't ask, no? When you are like suddenly, like, what is this? Well, he said this yoga, it has been, India has been chosen. Bharat has been chosen for this yoga to lead. Another yoga, it may be Germany also, Joiji. We do not know. This yoga, it is at least our Bharat.
Okay, so it depends and differ from yug to
Yes,
yug.
yes. Because evolution happened. There was a time when they said, no, sun never sets in the British Empire. Why did it not
Yeah,
set in the British Empire? It was such a
that's
small
what
place.
it is.
Then it suddenly, it was like something, now we are talking in British language only. We are talking
Yes.
Now they're
Sanskrit.
looking for the sun.
Yeah, now they're looking for the sun and they don't see the sun also and then they get sad. That is a problem many times. But look at it. But you see, there are so many questions like why did Aurangzeb live so long and Shivaji live so less? Or why was Shambhaji Maharaj having that horrible death? Or why is it that Aurangzeb's brother did not succeed? If he had succeeded, Bharat would have been a great amalgamation of different cultures. But this is a conscious game going on of the divine, Leela. We'll have to watch. But this is true, isn't it? We have lots of gods. No dearth, no shortage. So, yes,
Okay, this answered lots of my question, but I still have another
Acha.
opinion, or maybe another thought, not exactly opinion.
You want to
So,
share it? Okay, yeah.
पूछ रही हूँ, I will ask. So, actually, जैसे कि ठीक है, इंडिया में सनातन धर्म है, and सनातन धर्म is about वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम, and like all the god is same. Fair enough. But अगर हम different cultures, different continents की बात करें, when we talk about different continents, cultures, countries, they have different sort of religions as well, right?
Brahma Dharma,
So,
yeah.
so why Sanatan Dharma? Why Hinduism sort of thing? Why not anything else?
Acha. Means, why did you go to Germany right now for your studies, higher studies?
Because I was getting exposure here more than in India.
Because that is where you felt you were getting the exposure. So in the field of Adhyatma, at least, all the cultures are having something. We're not disregarding the other cultures.
No, no, we
But
are not.
our Sanatan Dharma is only teaching us not to disregard other cultures, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So many are saying ki it is like you cannot. It's like when I say my mom is good, you can say your mom is good. Do we have to compare? My mom is better than your mom. That is wrong,
No,
no?
we don't.
It cannot be compared also. That's
Yeah.
Sanatan Dharma, that maturity is there. Probably that is why
Mm-hmm.
Sanatan Dharma is the one that can allow people. I know so many who are in different dharmas. They they feel Sanatan Dharma is allowing them to understand their dharma better in its true sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there are rigid boundaries which man has invented, man has created. So they are helping them go out of it. So, all right, Joyji, yeah,
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
thank you. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om ji, Namaskar. Namaskar.
Hariom, sir.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Namaskar. Hari Om.